There's a lot going on right now, a lot of things that are newsworthy. I want to talk about piece of breaking news over the last few hours, and that is that Donald Trump has become the first US president to step foot in North Korea. Yet another historic moment, no doubt. Whatever way you look at it, it is a historic moment. Trump didn't just step over the DMZ, he went a full 20 feet into it, past that famous point where the guards operate. He was with Kim Jong-un. Apparently, this was a last minute arrangement. Trump reached out. He was at the G20 in Osaka. He reached out via Twitter, and this was obviously arranged. Um, Now, the views online have been this is just BBC analyzing it there. The views online seem to be there's a lot of optimism, like, oh, this is great for world peace, etc. I remember when the Singapore summit happened, it was a historic event, and it was. Hanoi summit, not quite as much attention, but still a lot of focus. But how much really changed from those summits? Has it stalled North Korea's nuclear program? Perhaps. There's going to be analysis of how Trump approaches North Korea versus how he approaches the Iranian nuclear program. Um, my issue is that it's very, very difficult to see this changing anything within North Korea. I think it's very beneficial for Kim Jong Un. It makes him look like a statesman, which I don't believe him to be. It plays to a domestic audience who are fed nothing but state propaganda. Um, if history shows that significant reforms occur in the next few years in North Korea, not just on the nuclear issue, but on human rights, then Donald Trump will deserve significant credit, and I will give it to him. I want to be wrong, but it's just difficult to see, given the track record, that this is anything more than a PR opportunity for Kim Jong un and for Donald Trump to an extent. I want to be wrong. You know, it would be great if North Korea came in from the cold and started to open up and had something of a perestroika moment. I just don't see that happening. So, historic, no doubt. I've no doubt it will get on the papers tomorrow, and it is a historic event. But is it a historic event that has significance, or is it historic just because it is historic in of itself? That's the question, and only time will tell. But I think it is fair to say Donald Trump is one of the most unpredictable presidents around. As he said, he was at the G20 in Osaka. This was in the region. So one wants to be fair to Trump. You want to say, well, he's been statesmanlike, he's reaching out. But is there really any honour in pandering to odious dictators if there really is significant doubt over what they give back? I mean, the difference I think with when Richard Nixon met Mao, some could argue that Nixon was making a mistake in that. I mean, Mao was no reformer, but 8 years later, China did open up. In fact, 6 years later, it was 1972. China opened up in 1978 under Deng Xiaoping. Um, when Reagan met Gorbachev, well, Gorbachev was a reformer anyway. So is this comparable? I don't know. I really don't know. I think only time will tell. I want to be optimistic, but given the track record of Kim Jong un, I just don't think we can expect too much from this other than the fact that it is a historic photograph. And it is historic insofar as Trump's the first American to do this, first American president. So, in that sense, it's historic. I just don't know what significance it's going to have. I think only time will tell. And we could all be wrong. Maybe Trump has had foresight here. Maybe Trump will go down to be one of the great presidents for reaching out in this way. I, I just don't see it. I think it's biding Kim more time. I think it will do nothing to encourage reforms in regards to human rights domestically. Incidentally, I don't trust Donald Trump on human rights. I mean, his attitude to the protests in Hong Kong was I'm sure they'll work something out. This is not a president who will go out of his way to stand up for human rights. He did take action against Assad in Syria. I believe that was justified. But I do not think that human rights is a major motivating factor for Donald Trump, or human liberty for that matter. I don't think he has that sort of political antenna. I think Trump thinks like a businessman.